Hi again everyone, this is Ray, coming back with another build tutorial, this time on the AGI in Genesis mode with cotton wick and Kanthal wire. Show you, this is the build. I've been using it. As you can see, my tank's practically empty. I've been using it for about 24 hours now. It's working great. I've built with stainless steel mesh, I've built with silica, I've used Bakero, I've used different ways of trying to get my Genesis to work, and I haven't been happy with it until cotton. I'll show you how this thing vapes before we get into the tutorial. Thing's hitting like a champ. I'm getting full flavor. It's wicking great. I've had no burning, no anything. So let's go ahead and get on with this build. First things first, I got to take apart this build, which was firing at 0.5 ohms. So I'll pull this old coil out. There it goes. And we'll bring you down to build level. Ta-da, build level. Alright, so first things first, let's cut a strand of the 26 gauge Kanthal A1 resistance wire. This is a very easy, quick build. So what I've been doing is with my set of screwdrivers, I found one that fits perfectly into where your juice goes, or where your wick goes. So, do that with anything else that you have. Drill bit, yada yada yada. Nail, anything else you can find. Alright? Let's go ahead and clean that off and make a 3/4 coil. Right, go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go. Gonna straighten these legs out a little bit. Make sure my coil is tight along the screwdriver here. And I just kind of tighten it up just a little bit by pushing it up against that. Alright, easy enough, right? And next thing you do is you just go ahead and stick that screwdriver right in there. Take your top leg, wrap it around your positive screw, tighten that down. Go. Take your negative, which I leave a little bit longer because if it's trapped inside the well there, it's hard to get to. Kind of push that down and wrap that around your negative post. Tighten that down. There we go. Pull all of your coils up out of the way. Yeah. And this is a good time to adjust your coils here. You can see them off the contrast of this screwdriver. See here. Just kind of spacing everything out as much, as evenly as possible. There we go. I like that. Pull the screwdriver out. Do a quick test on the multimeter. And if you want to see how to use your multimeter, go ahead and check my other video. Alright? So, positive to positive, negative to negative. And we got 0.5 once again. Beautiful. So now that that's all taken care of, we can, I'm not going to clip them. Aha. Sometimes you got to retighten a little bit with this thicker gauge Kanthal. Alright, let's go ahead and pop that off. And this one will cut as close to the post as possible. Go. Make sure we're not having any issues here. Coil needs to be nice and straight. And there we go. Let's do a quick little test fire here and see how this thing's lighting up. Beautiful. Nice. The legs aren't getting hot, only the coil. Everything looks pretty uniform. Now for the fun part, is inserting your cotton wick. I'll take a cotton ball, unroll it, and you get these nice long like sheets. So pull off enough so that way you have a nice bulky wick, so that way it's touching every part of your coil, because you don't want hot spots. Alright, so there we go. Doesn't necessarily need to be too bulky on the end that's going into your tank. That'll make it easier for you. You want it, hey, look at that. You want it bulkier towards the top, so it gets everything nice and juicy. Let's go ahead and pull off that little piece there and start inserting your cotton wick. I sort of twist it as it goes in to kind of help it. And this is probably the hardest part of this build, is trying to get this cotton in there. Once you get it in there, you're pretty good to go. It's not that difficult. And of course, anytime you're using cotton, once the juice gets added, the cotton will bulk up a little bit. So you don't want it to be too tight in there, because once it gets all full of juice, it's going to widen out and fill it. Anytime you've inserted your wick, you need to probably adjust your coil just a tad. Alright, so there's your cotton wick, and I leave a little bit at the top when I cut it off, so that way I can come back in and sort of spread out the top, give it a nice juice base. Alright, just like that. And you can see your cotton wick now inside your tank. Let's go ahead and juice this thing up here. You want to prime your wick, because you never want to dry fire on cotton, because you'll burn it. It's not like silica, eco wool, or anything like that. Think of it kind of like how you'd have to prime a cartomizer to make sure it's nice and juicy. Now let's go ahead and fill up our tank here. It gets a little messy with the teardropper. But it works. Make sure you get your tank nice and filled. Oh, look at that. I'm like over everything here. Kind of take some of this juice out of here. It's nice about having a drip well. You don't have to worry about this getting all over your mod. Almost there. And we're filled. I'll take that excess here so we're not flooding out our wick coil. I'll wipe off all this excess juice here. Alright, let's see how this thing is going to fire. Go. This is not a fresh battery anyway, but just kind of show you how this works and how to rebuild it. So let's back up here. We'll do another quick little cloud test to see how this works. Perfect. So there you go. That is how you build with a cotton wick on your Genesis. This was an AGI, but this will work on pretty much any other top coil Genesis that you have. Alright, enjoy. Vape on.